कैसे हो आप सब? उम्मीद है आप बहुत ही खुश, बहुत ही हैप्पी होंगे। जी हाँ दोस्तों, बेबाक बातचीत शो में मैं आप सबके सामने फिर से तैयार हूँ ढेर सारी नई जानकारियों के साथ में। यस दोस्तों, इस बार एक बहुत ही खास रीजन है जिसकी वजह से मैं आप सबके सामने हूँ। और जैसे कि आप देख पा रहे होंगे, हमारे सामने कौन है? हमारे सामने है आर्च बिशप पीटर चौंग, जिनसे हम लोग बहुत सारी बातें करने वाले हैं। जी हाँ, इनसे हम लोग क्लाइमेट चेंज के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं। दोस्तों मैं आपको बता दूं, लास्ट वीक एक बहुत बड़ा इवेंट हुआ क्लाइमेट चेंज के ऊपर, और उसमें सारे पैसिफिक कंट्रीज थे और सारे पैसिफिक कंट्रीज ने अपनी अपनी तरफ से जो उनसे कंट्रीब्यूशन बन रहा था अवेयर करने के लिए कि कितनी सारी चीजें हैं जो हम लोग आज के टाइम पे देख पा रहे हैं, कहीं ना कहीं प्रॉब्लम हो रही है ना। तो उनको आम जनमानस तक कैसे ये सब चीजें पहुंचे, इन सबको बताने के लिए ये आज मैं इनके साथ हूँ। और बस बहुत मुश्किल से समय मिला है इनसे बातें करने के लिए। तो ठीक है दोस्तों, थोड़ी इनसे बातें करते हैं और पूछते हैं कि क्या है ये सब चीजें और कैसे हम लोग हेल्प कर सकते हैं। ओके यार ग्रेस, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग मी टाइम एंड वेलकम टू द शो।
Thank you.
सो आई जस्ट वांट टू नो,
Yeah, it's a song. Eh?
Yeah.
It's, yeah, you can call it a poem. The inspiration is taken from Pope Francis's letter about how we should care for our Mother Earth.
okay.
So that's one place, and then just my engaging with various spaces or platforms talking about climate change and speaking about it and bringing my experience with what I see and the places that I've visited and bringing that into conversation with the Pope Francis letter. So the song is, that's where the inspiration comes from. So the song speaks to a number of three audiences. One is to the big family, and that's the whole world. You know, and we should speak to the whole world about this. And then, so that it's like just addressing the whole world, that they should listen to what's happening in the small islands. The second, it addresses the government. The government, like politicians and also leaders, traditional leaders, chiefs. And then the final one, audience, it speaks to the island peoples themselves, that we should raise our voice, you know. So it's speaking to the world, speaking to politicians and leaders, traditional leaders, chiefs, and then finally speaking just to the people who are victims or in the front line of climate change, that we should act, that we should speak about caring. But the main message there, which is in the chorus, is to stop the carbon emission, stop the coal mining, stop also the degradation of the destruction of environment, like mining, logging, all these things. So it's not only climate change, but there are companies over here that are already damaging the environment. So two things we are talking about here: climate change, but also companies, industries that are damaging the environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are the things like mostly we all are suffering with this thing, but somewhere we are not understanding like what are the things we have to this is the right time we should think about it, and the young generation that must understand, because these are the resources they will be used in future. So it's very important, so people will understand. So like how we can motivate them
So
to save.
So this show has a special interest. There are a few things there behind the show. The reason or the why or the rationale why we are doing the show and the language that we are using.
Okay.
So, you can communicate things using scientific language. You can communicate things about climate change using technological language. But, we believe, as a theologian myself, people who talk about God, that there is also another powerful language that uses artistic language and symbolic language. So artistic language includes song, dance, storytelling, and symbols. So like on that day we were using choreography, and we did not do a lot of poetry on that show. That's another thing that we should include in the show is poetry. So all these involve artistic and symbolic language. So the artistic and the symbolic.
It's more creative people will.
Yeah, it's using symbols.
Some colorful, some things that people easily attract and
Yeah. So
Okay.
that language has it has the power to reach the hearts of people compared to the scientific language. So, for example, if you did a show and you said we're going to give a presentation on climate change,
Right.
and they said there's going to be a conference seminar, and the tickets are $10. I don't think anybody will come to that.
True. People will say, what?
Yeah.
We are not interested.
Yeah,
We will see
that-
our own presentation at
Yeah,
home.
it's not attractive.
Right.
So imagine, we were speaking to about 1,600 something like that people, or 1,800, including the people participating. You'll never get that audience if you did a workshop on climate change. And then with the scientific language, there are only certain people, the educated people get the scientific language. So using art song, you then are able to reach people's imagination. You are able to reach a very wide thing. So just like today, somebody sent me a copy of the minister of assistant minister of the prime minister's office who gave a talk on that day. He's already put a post in the government Facebook. So that's going out to government.
Yes.
And
It
that's
will quickly-
yeah, and that's what we want. We want people to
Know about it,
Yeah.
and then they also help in this.
we put this thing on the newspaper.
Social media, the news,
We are trying to speak to the prime minister, but he's not. We can't. It's so hard to get an audience with him now.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is one
busy
way.
schedule, maybe he's like no.
So this is one way of getting not only to one person, but to everybody. But more importantly, so there's two things. So using artistic and
Just
symbolic
to connect
language.
with the people,
Yeah.
just easily connect with us what exactly they're saying.
So there's a particular language that we are using in this show, and that is the language of vulnerability. Vulnerability means that we are weak. But it's not only that we are weak. Vulnerability itself is like a form of power.
Right.
A power that attracts people to join. Yeah? And so that's why we call it the Tangi. Tangi is a Polynesian island, among the islands in Polynesia and Melanesia too. It's around the Pacific. It means cry. So the production is called the Tangi production, and we use the title. We look for a title that will attract people. So we found that one is Our Home is on Fire, Act Now. So when your home is on fire, you have to act.
Exactly.
There's
We
no,
have to act. Now the time we
yeah.
have to act.
So we're using the language of vulnerability in order to get attention of people. And for me, I'm using that too to correct the narrative about climate change, because around here, what is going around is the language of resilience. Resilience, to tell the world that we are resilient. We can handle this. We will fight. There's a picture in the internet. We are not sitting. We are not sinking. We are fighting.
Understand the basic message.
Okay, the first line.
Yeah.
The first line is island people, raise your voice.
Great.
So that's very important.
Right.
So I think that's the main thing. We need to raise our voice.
Raise
And
our
that-
voice. Yeah. So this is the harsh reality of now. People must understand this thing. So thank you so much. Archbishop,
Thank
you
you.
have.
You're
I think
welcome.
yes,
Yeah.
Thank you. I think you have given all the answer of my questions, man,
Mhm.
but it was really an amazing session, and I must say thanks to Anju ji who arranged everything for me. Thank you so much, Anju ji, and yes, thank you so much to
Thank
you
you.
too, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. तो दोस्तों यही सब थी आज इनके साथ बातें, बेबाक बातचीत जो मेरा शो है दोस्तों, मैं चाहती हूँ उसमें कहीं ना कहीं ऐसी चीजें आए जो लोगों के काम आ सके, लोग उन सब चीजों को समझ पाए, और कहीं ना कहीं इस वीडियो के थ्रू जितने भी लोग अगर जुड़े हुए, अगर देख पा रहे हैं, तो फादर ने मतलब जितनी भी इन्होंने बातें कही हैं, कहीं ना कहीं हर एक बात का बहुत गहरा मतलब है कि हम लास्ट में जब इस दुनिया में जाएंगे या हम रहेंगे तो सिर्फ पैसों को खाएंगे नहीं, अगर हमारा प्लैनेट ही नहीं बचेगा तो हम लोग करेंगे क्या। तो सिर्फ पैसों के पीछे नहीं दौड़ना, पैसों के पीछे नहीं, हमारा जो ये अर्थ है, हमारा जो प्लैनेट है, उसे भी हमें खूबसूरत बनाना है, उसके साथ साथ हमारी जो बेसिक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है उसे भी हमें समझने की जरूरत है। मुझे पता है बहुत सारे लोगों तक ये सब चीजें नहीं पहुंच पाती क्योंकि हम पे डायरेक्ट इम्पैक्ट नहीं पड़ता, हम लोग बहुत दूर है, मगर फिर भी ये सब चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। और ये वीडियो बनाने का, ये इंटरव्यू लेने का सिर्फ एक यही रीजन था ताकि आप ये बात को समझ पाए, और इस एक अवेयरनेस को हमारे अंदर आनी बहुत जरूरत है दोस्तों। ये बहुत हाई टाइम है, बहुत हाई टाइम है। अब अगर नहीं समझेंगे तो हमारी आगे आने वाली जनरेशन, उनके लिए फिर कुछ नहीं बचेगा। हमने तो अपनी लाइफ अच्छे से बिताई, मगर आगे आने वाले उनके लिए क्या होगा। तो हमें अपने लिए तो सोचना है ही है, साथ ही साथ उनके लिए भी बहुत सोचना जरूरी है। ठीक है, तो यही था दोस्तों आप सबके साथ में। उम्मीद है आपको पसंद आएगा। बहुत जल्द मिलूंगी आपको नए वीडियो के साथ। तब तक आपको क्या करना है, तब तक आपको हैप्पी रहना है, खुश रहना है, एंजॉय करना है, एंड व्हाट, यस, बी बिंदास, एंड व्हाट, यस, लव यू ऑल। थैंक यू सो मच दोस्तों, थैंक यू।
Thank you.